welcome to Stampin' by Hannah. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining me on a Friday. I have a fun technique card for you today. And as you can see, I'm kind of halfway through making it already because I was kind of planning in my head and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to stick this on camera because it's much easier to do that way. So I am going to share some ink blend, I cannot speak. I'm going to share some ink blending with you today. Now, I shared a card on my blog on Tuesday night for the Go for Grease blog hop that featured some ink blending, and I got a few comments on it about, oh, I really like your ink blending, how do you do that? So I thought I would share with you exactly how I go about doing it, and exactly what process I use. And, you know, we'd make a fun card at the same time. I wish I could show you that card with you, but I can't because it went off to one of my stamping besties for her birthday a couple of weeks ago. So I don't have it to share, otherwise I'd share it with you. But I will link it. It will be linked in the blog post. Link is in the down bar below. So I have already done a little bit. I've cut my cardstock. I've heat embossed part of my sentiment. I have the lovely inside and out stamp set. I love this one. I love the kind of mix and match sentiments. Can you tell I haven't had any coffee today? Is that coming across on camera? I hope so. Might need some more coffee. Actually, some coffee. I haven't had any at all. Yeah, no coffee yet. Need coffee. So, yes, love this stamp set. It is beautiful with these fun kind of mix and match stamps. There is a die set that matches this as well, but I don't own it. I own this, and this is good enough for me. So we're going to ink blend first, and then we're going to put the rest of the card together. So I have got Sweet Sugar Plum cardstock and ink, and a sponge. I do all my ink blending with a sponge. You can use let me grab mine, sponge dauber that you put on your finger. I don't like them. I don't like oh no, just don't like it. I have one that I use for white ink, and that's all I've got. I've got a few more. They're knackered and could do with replacing, but I'm not replacing them because I don't like them. I stick with my sponges. So I'm going to remove all the rest of the bits of the cardstock out of the way. Just want the piece of Whisper White, and I've got a piece of scrap paper. You'd need a piece of scrap paper for this because I've just dropped half my cards on the floor. You need a piece of scrap paper for this because you're going to start off the cardstock, and you need to protect your work surface. We're using quite a lot of ink, so even when I've got my grid paper down, I will always put another piece of scrap paper on as well, just so that I don't end up with ink everywhere, because once I've finished my ink blending, I can then move that out of the way and I've not got ink on my desk. So, ink pad, juicy is better, sponge, and we're just going to lightly dab it into the ink, and then we'll start off, and I always start on one corner, and we're going to work in circles, and we're going to circle that ink on. Now you're going to look at it when you first do it and go, that's really, really, really pale. And it's like, yes it is, but you need, that's the thing with ink blending, that it's about building up the layers of colour. So if you add too much ink kind of in one go, you can find you end up with kind of splotchy areas, and therefore the ink hasn't blended properly. You always need to start off and work your way on. So I'm going to keep building up this colour. As you can see, I'm getting plenty of ink off that ink pad, but I am doing it in kind of a couple of dabs is enough. And then we're going to slowly work our way up the card. Now, I'm not going to cover the entire card base in ink. I literally just want the bottom corner. And this is a very similar sketch design to the card that I made for Heidi. But like I said, I've changed it out a bit, and that card also had designer series paper and things on it that I'm not using today. So there we have a beautiful bit of ink blending. Isn't that really pretty? You get that lovely soft edge, and it's pretty, and I like pretty things. Don't we all really like pretty things? So that's my kind of base of my card. Actually, before I move that piece of scrap paper out of the way, I am going to grab some of the stamps as well, because this stamp set has three kind of layering images. So I'm going to grab this piece and this piece, and I'm going to do some tone on tone stamping with my Sweet Sugar Plum ink. Now, while I've got Sweet Sugar Plum out, I do want to mention this is one of the current in colours. This is one of the 2016-2018 in colours, which means it is likely to retire in May. There are 5 current in colours, well, 10 current in colours. We retire 5 every year and get 5 brand new ones. And these are the colours that are due to retire this year. So that's Sweet Sugar Plum, Dapper Denim, Emerald Envy, Flirty Flamingo, Peekaboo Peach. If you have these colours and you don't have the re-inkers, I would suggest getting the re-inkers sooner rather than later. They will sell out when the retiring list goes live. All the in-colour stuff always goes really, really quickly. So if you love these colours, get your cardstock and your inks now. And your refills. There are some beautiful ribbons. Before it hits the retiring list and before things start to sell out. So I'm going to I've got 2, yeah, I think 2 is probably enough. And then I'm going to use this little stamp. I'm going to stamp it off before it hits my card. For some tone on tone stamping, just to add that kind of extra layer, extra texture, and just a little bit more interest. I love cards that have got kind of layering and things on, so whether that be layers of cardstock, layers of designer paper, layers of doilies and this, that and the other, or layers of ink. I just love that, really, that look really, really excites me. So I've got a card base also in Sweet Sugar Plum, and I have pre-scored this. Just folding it and using my bone folder to make sure it's nice and folded. Then we've got a mat of basic black. It's going to go on there, and then our ink blended panel is going to go on the top of there like that. So let's get all that that bit stuck down first. And all my mats and layers are cut to standard measurements. I do keep meaning to write out my standards measurements to put them kind of permanently on my blog. I have not got around to doing it yet. Things have got a little bit busy in the past couple of weeks. I've been on holiday this week and I'm on holiday from work again next week, which is very exciting because I've got so much to do. I go away with Stampin' Up for Stampin' on stage next Friday morning, really, really early Friday morning next week, so I've kind of got lots to do before then. So that is the kind of base of our card. Then we need to add our sentiment. So I've already pre-stamped and heat embossed the word friend from the lovely inside and out stamp set, and then I've taken these sentiments at the top and I've got the for a great, so it's going to say for a great friend. And I've already got that mounted up on my block. And I'm going to just place that friend just where I want it. I'm going to put it about there. And then I've got basic black ink. I'm going to just ink that up. And I'm going to be really, really brave. I've got my big girl pants on. And I'm going to stamp that straight down onto my card. Now, if I wasn't feeling really brave, I could have used Stampin-By-Jig for that. I could have used my new Stamparatus, which I am not going to. I'm not going to share with you yet. I know it has made kind of fleeting appearances on the channel, but it's not going to be a permanent fixture until you guys can get your hands on it, because I was very lucky. I got it during a pre-order period, but it's currently not available, so I don't want to share it with you. I don't want to share something with you that you can't get, because that's not fair, is it? So, a couple of little extra layers. I've got a cute little delicate white doily. And I have got the black metallic thread and some glitter enamel dots to finish. So let's grab some of the metallic thread. I don't know why we call it metallic thread when it's not really metallic. It has got a shine to it, I've got to say. But it's definitely not metallic. I keep mine from this stuff can unroll like it's going out of fashion. So I do keep mine tied to the top with a piece of washi tape so it doesn't kind of fling everywhere. It wants to be straight. It does not want to be curled round a bobbin. It doesn't. So I'm just gonna wrap it around my fingers and create some loops like that. I'll futz with that a bit. And I think, yeah, I'm going to put that there. So, bit of snail. And we're going to put that straight down there into the snail. So it will be covered, that snail will be covered by my sentiment in a minute. I'm also going to grab a little bit of doily. When I cut a piece of doily, I try and get a piece with the solid bit on it, just because it makes it easier to stick. So that's actually a weeny bit long, so I'm going to just trim a bit off and measure it up again. I'm going to put it against the bottom edge of my sentiment. So I'm just going to put some snail on the back, because this is what's going to stick the sentiment onto our cardstock as well. So doily on there, like so. I'm going to very carefully add some snail to the back of that doily. Doilies are, as you are, I'm sure well aware, really delicate. They do not take very well to being moved and funny things happening to them. So I'm just going to trim that bit off because I don't like that bit sticking out the top. There. And then it's just a case of popping that sentiment back in. Like that. So, isn't that so cute? Love that. And then just to finish, I have got the glitter enamel shapes. Now these are in 4 colours and they coordinate with the Colour Theory suite. So there's Old Olive, Berry Burst, Daffodil Delight and Dapper Denim. But this Berry Burst row here, because they kind of coordinate with more colours than that, because they are an ombre effect. So I'm going to grab 3 of these. I'm going to grab 3 in 3 different sizes as well. And I'm just going to put a trio of them. Your eye likes 3s, so tend to put 3 things, and I'll quite often put them around the sentiment. And that is my ink blended card. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Anything you've seen in my videos can be purchased in my online store. The link is in the down bar below. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe while you're here, and I will see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.